what is my reaction as of right now when it comes to quant? Even though nothing I say is financial advice, and even though I'm not telling you into anything, my perspective is that as of right now, I get it. Quant isn't doing the best in terms of price. A bunch of altcoins are not doing good. But even right now, with Quant having a market cap that is kind of that around $1 billion range, even if it, let's say, goes like 20% lower or something like that, or let's say it goes a little bit more below that. Like we just saw not too long ago, the market cap of Quant back in April, it was around that $770 million range, give or take. And that was like not even over a year ago, right? That was less than a year ago. And I actually did not mind dollar cost averaging into Quant at that point in time. So if let's say I didn't mind back then, and let's say for whatever reason Quant goes lower and goes to that point, I'm suddenly going to complain about that? My perspective is the dollar cost average. I cannot speak on anyone's behalf, and I'm not telling onto anything. But if let's say I didn't mind dollar cost averaging back then, and let's say Quant does go to that level again, again, I don't know why I would necessarily complain about that, even though it's not necessarily the best feeling seeing things not do the best. But at the same time, I feel like for quite a while, Quant has been having not such a good time breaking below that $700 million market cap range. Let me explain what I mean by this, right? Back in April, it wasn't able to go below 700 million in terms of market cap. And also, we take a look at back in even November of 2024, I didn't see the market cap dip below 700 million. It was almost, dipping below that at around that $713 million range, but it didn't go below that. So for quite a while, we haven't seen that go below $700 million in terms of market cap. And even if we just take a look back even further, I mean, when was the last time I saw Quant dip below $700 million in market cap? That was back in 2022. You know what I mean? Like, ever since then, I haven't seen it go below $700 million in terms of market cap. And keep in mind, 2022, that was like after that, major dip because of that, bear market that happened at that time, right? And we have to keep in mind what happened at that time. Again, a lot of exchanges weren't doing the best. There was not such a good sentiment whatsoever when it comes to just not even altcoins like we saw with Bitcoin and Ethereum. Even at one point, we saw Ethereum go to that around 1,000 range, right, in terms of price. So again, I haven't seen Quant actually go below $700 million in market cap ever since 2022. So it's been quite a while. And before that, right, it was like what, back in 2021, before it had that hypothetical rally at that, altcoin season. So yeah, to me, when it comes to Quant, am I still staying patient? Yeah, because I just feel like at a time like this, when altcoins are not doing the best, what I focus on is just the fundamentals. If let's say even a project that doesn't have good fundamentals and also projects that have good fundamentals are also both going down, my perspective is that I often focus on the projects that I do like. It's like, for instance, I walk inside a store, everything is having a discount for whatever reason. Let's say the shoes, the jeans, the t-shirt. What am I going to choose? I'm going to be choosing the products that I actually do want to use and that I actually need for my wardrobe, right? It's just kind of no different here. So if let's say for me, if let's say generally speaking, a bunch of altcoins are having a pullback, I just focus on the projects that I do like and the ones that I am a fan of fundamentally speaking. That's pretty much about it, because when it comes to Quant, I just find it pretty interesting to me. Like, for instance, even though I'm not telling you into anything, right, and even though nothing I say is financial advice, what I like about Quant is that it brings kind of a unique touch, I think, to this space. Like, for instance, the Quant network is made up of the Overledger OS and the Overledger network. The Overledger OS allows something called multi-chain applications to be built. Applications that are built on top of multiple blockchains instead of just one. I find this pretty fascinating because imagine if I'm a developer and I don't have to be stuck building on only just one blockchain. That's going to be, a little bit more interesting in my opinion. Now, the Overledger network is made up of the Overledger OS users, but I'm just saying, when it comes to the Quant network, what I find very fascinating about it is the Overledger OS, because I just like the concept of multi-chain applications. I get it, the adoption isn't the best when it comes to multi-chain applications, but still. If my kind of perception is that, sure, there's thousands upon thousands of decentralized applications currently, and if I feel like maybe there might be hypothetically more moving forward, Would some be multi-chain applications? Who knows? But it wouldn't surprise me. This is just my perception. So this is why I haven't given up when it comes to quant, because in this space as of right now where a bunch of things are not doing good, I focus on the projects which I actually like fundamentally and which I do like in terms of the amount of holders, in terms of the popularity, and this is why I haven't given up when it comes to quant. And also on top of that, I just haven't seen quant dip below $700 million in market cap in pretty much, what is this, over 3 years? Now, who knows, right? I mean, I can't control the market anyway. I cannot know what's going to happen at this exact moment, all this type of stuff. But again, just to me, I want to stay patient. That's about it. I'm not telling you into anything, right? But this is just my perception when it comes to how I feel about quant, because I liked quant before. Like, keep in mind, I was a fan of quant even back in 2022. Like, to me, I don't know what bad thing happened to it fundamentally. It's just it hasn't been doing the best ever since 2022. But, that could be said with a bunch of other altcoins. Like, for instance, let's take a look at Polkadot. Polkadot is more famous, right, than quant, of course. When we take a look at DOT, even despite the pullback, the market cap is just way more massive than quant. But the thing is, what has Polkadot ever done ever since that bear market that followed that 2021 altcoin season? Hasn't really done much either. So a bunch of projects haven't really done much because I don't think I've seen an altcoin season. I don't think there actually has been, maybe hypothetically, an altcoin season during this cycle, at least to my understanding. So to me, if that is the case, and a bunch of projects are also kind of not doing okay, even though granted there has been some cases where it's done pretty okay, but I'm just saying, I don't know why I would just, give up. I don't know. I mean, it's going to be different on a case-by-case basis, but this is just my point of view. If I take a look at something like Quant, I just like it because it's a project that actually has, I think, something for me to kind of look forward to fundamentally. Some other projects out there, I don't know if the team is going to be around in the next couple of months, or even, I don't know, in the next couple of years. But when it comes to Quant, I mean, who knows, right? But it just doesn't give me that vibe in my perspective. So I'm still waiting. I'm still staying patient. And that's pretty much about it. Keep in mind, even currently as of right now, there's around 160,000 holders when it comes to Quant. This is considering the pullback and considering how Quant really hasn't done much ever since 2021. Like, even still, despite that, around 160,000 holders. I mean, that's pretty impressive, especially considering how it hasn't done much in the case of Quant ever since 2021. But even besides that, personally for me, as of right now, because I know that I can't control the market, because I know that I can't do anything about it, what I do is I just dollar cost average once a month, and that's pretty much about it. Whatever happens along the way, I can't control that. But it is never for me about, just randomly going all at once at one certain point. No, that's not what I do. I just dollar cost average once a month, and that's it. Because, throughout a year, throughout 2 years, throughout 3 years, like that, like, there's going to be a lot of things that happen. Like, I'm not going to be able to know the perfect time because, again, I don't have those capabilities. I just dollar cost average once a month and that's it. But I just wanted to make this video real quick to just kind of give my reaction to what I see when it comes to Quant as of right now. And I'm still going to stay patient, and that's about it. And I want to say thank you for watching. I greatly appreciate it. I hope you all have a nice day. It's been Lee the Captain, and I'll catch you on the next one. I'm out. Peace. Bye.